Hey guys, Mike the Caveman Q here again from Paleo Primal Long Island and MikeTheCaveman.com. And today, for our Ask Mike the Caveman segment, I have a question that's built off of a couple of people's questions, and it has to do with what is the best cooking oil, okay? Builds a little bit off of the last couple of days when we talked about grass-fed dairy and the importance. We talked about the concerns with bacon and saturated fat. And then yesterday when we talked about canola oil that we found in the Beyond Meat product, okay? When it comes to cooking oils, there are a number of things you want to consider, all right? There are three main types of fats. There are unsaturated, polyunsaturated, and saturated fats. Now, of course, there are trans-saturated fats, which occur when you take an unsaturated fat and hydrogenate it, which makes it look like a saturated fat, and that's a major reason why saturated fat got demonized. Trans fats, with the exception of that CLA we talked about, which is a natural occurring trans fat, trans fats are all man-made, and they are terrible for our health. Now, because chemically they sort of look like a saturated fat, for the last 40 years we've been demonizing saturated fat, okay? But saturated fat is not a bad thing. Saturated fat is more shelf stable. That's why it's solid at room temperature, right? Think butter, ghee, coconut oil, lard, tallow, all that stuff. It's saturated, it is stable, it is less able to be reacted to by oxygen or oxidized, okay? The liquid ones, on the other hand, all the vegetable oils, soybean, corn oil, canola oil, sunflower, it's a lot easier to oxidize them. So real quick on the chemistry, okay? What an unsaturated fat means is that it's not saturated. If you took salt and poured it into water, the point when you start to see salt crystals on the bottom again, that means it's saturated. The water is full of salt to the point that it can no longer mix, okay? In terms of fat saturation, we're talking about whether or not there are double or single bonds, okay? In unsaturated fats, there's going to be a double bond. Those, chemically speaking, are a lot easier to break down. They're a lot easier to be oxidized, okay? Means they can plop off, and now they can be created into other chemicals, okay? When unsaturated fats are oxidized, well, they create free radicals, okay? Free radicals, not a good thing. That's one of the main reasons why antioxidants are so important. You take antioxidants to help scavenge or get rid of the free radicals in your body. So, that being said, what are the cooking oils you absolutely have to avoid? Well, those are all of your vegetable oils. Better to classify as seed oils, okay? So, the seed oils, soybean oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, canola oil or rapeseed oil, sunflower, safflower, okay, rice bran oil. Those are all terrible. They are high in polyunsaturated fats, and they can go rancid on your shelf easy, and they can get oxidized in your body easily. All right, chemically speaking, they are not good. When you heat them, they have very low smoke points, and they burn very easily because they can get oxidized. All right. On the other hand, your saturated fats, they are exponentially better for you. So, what are the best sources of saturated fat to cook with? Well, depending on what you're cooking and trying to make, I will choose a number of different things. If I'm trying to make, some meat, whether it's steak or I'm making eggs in the morning, generally speaking, I'll go with some grass-fed butter, okay? Kerrygold butter, awesome, grass-fed, full of vitamin A, E, K2. It has that butyrate and that CLA, the conjugated linoleic acid we talked about the other day, and overall, is going to be awesome, okay? Tastes great too. Now, if you do have issues with lactose or casein, or if you plan on cooking at a relatively high heat, you may want to consider either making your own ghee, which is clarified butter, or you can pick up some Pure Indian Foods clarified butter, some Pure Indian Foods ghee. It's a company based in New Jersey. I've met them a couple of times at conferences. They are amazing family-run business. They've been doing it with traditional Indian methods for years, okay? My next favorite one, particularly if I'm talking about like chicken, lard, okay? I have here some Tendergrass Farms organic lard, another awesome company that I respect a lot. I met the Marins down at Ancestral Health Symposium back in 2013, where they helped provide most of the food for that conference, and this right here is an awesome product. It is pasture-raised organic pig fat, okay? We talked about the other day, pig fat is very similar in terms of composition to human fat, okay? It has some saturated fat, but it actually is pretty high in monounsaturated. So that's where it gets a little interesting. We'll talk about that again in a second. But either way, awesome one, particularly if you're making chicken, get that nice little bacon grease flavor with it. It's amazing stuff. My other most common, I will use coconut oil. Okay, now this here is skinny fat. This is skinny fat original, which is made out of coconut oil with the MC2 oil blend. Okay, so you're getting a little bit of the long chain fatty acids as well as the medium chain fatty acids. What's nice about it is that it's liquid at room temperature and it tastes amazing. All right, it's going to help make things that are a little bit on the sweeter end taste better. So even though there's no sugar in coconut oil, it has that coconutty flavor, and because of that, it pairs better with stuff that are going to be on the sweeter end. So maybe I'm making eggs with a little bit of cinnamon and some nuts chopped up into it. This year, definitely going to go with that. Maybe I'm going with a Thai or a Latin style dish. Then I'm definitely going to go with the coconut, the skinny fat coconut oil. Now, if you don't have this, if you only have coconut oil is amazing too. Coconut oil and palm fruit oil are both great sources of MCTs and excellent choices as well. The next one I have here is skinny fat olive. So it has the same MCT oil benefit of the skinny fat original, only now you're also getting olive oil in it. Now olive oil's a little bit in the medium range. It's mostly monounsaturated fat, so despite being unsaturated, they still cook pretty well. You don't want to go too high for too long with olive oil, but if you're doing a traditional Italian or Greek style cooking, you know, sauteing up some spinach or some kale, that's great, okay? But if you're cooking, like say, eggs, and you're cooking at a high temperature, you don't really want to go with that. Now, monounsaturated fats, they only have one unsaturated bond because they're a little bit closer to saturated fats, and they, like we said, they can cook a little bit better, okay? This here eliminates all of those issues. You cook this at a higher temperature just like you would a saturated fat, okay? So olive oil, extra virgin particularly, I love Casadrino's olive oil, is a great choice. Or you can go with skinny fat olive. That being said, some other oils to consider. Fish oil, amazing for you. However, it is full of polyunsaturated fats, particularly omega-3. As such, you don't want to cook with it ever. Take that orally with some other vitamins, okay? Particularly fat-soluble vitamins. Other ones, avocado oil, as well as, again, the olive oil we mentioned, and macadamia oil. Those three are rich in monounsaturated fats and are okay to cook with at, again, low temperatures for shorter amounts of time, okay? Last ones, the peanut oils and the other nut oils, okay? No good. Do not use those. They are full of polyunsaturated, particularly omega-6 fatty acids, and they are able to be oxidized easily. So the key takeaways for today's, cook with a saturated fat, okay? The more stable it is, the better it's going to be for you. It's not going to get oxidized either by the cooking process or in your body. It's going to be a lot harder to oxidize. The next one, avoid the polyunsaturated fats. So all the industrial seed oils, all the vegetable oils, none of those, okay? So go with your butter, go with your ghee, coconut oil, olive oil, skinny fat, lard, tallow, which is beef fat. Go with all of that and you're going to be setting yourself up for a good time. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this is Mike the Caveman. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Mike the Caveman. You can find me on Facebook on Paleo Primal Long Island, and of course over at MikeTheCaveman.com. Please be sure to like and subscribe and share this with your friends.